أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وصحابته المنتجبين. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، وقل لعبادي يقولوا التي هي أحسن إن الشيطان ينزغ بينهم إن الشيطان كان للإنسان عدوا مبينا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Is profanity or the use of foul language or swearing or cursing or whatever you would like to call it, is profanity a good thing or a bad thing? This might seem like a weird question. The answer is quite obvious. Of course, it's a bad thing. Whoever you may ask, people of all ages, from all nationalities, will tell you that the usage of profanity is something negative. It's not something good. This is not just restricted to Islam and Muslims. Ask people from various religions, they'll tell you profanity is not a good thing. Even ask atheists. Even atheists who don't believe in God, they will still tell you that profanity is a bad thing. When they hear profanity, they won't like it. It is not restricted to a certain religion or to a certain group. From all cultures, all nationalities, all religions, everyone considers profanity in the various languages, because in every language there's profanity. In every language there's foul language. In every language there's cursing and swearing. In every nationality and culture it is considered a bad thing, even if you are not religious. Now, despite that, we see that profanity has an important role in pop culture. You see profanity in movies, in songs, in music, even in video games. Even in video games made for children, there's profanity. Athletes, they use profanity. Singers use profanity. Some of the most well-known celebrities, they're known for their profanity. Actors, actresses, it's part of pop culture. Almost in every single movie that comes out in Hollywood, except Disney movies, there's profanity. Almost in every movie nowadays. Not just once or twice. Some movies, from the beginning till the end, it's full of profanity. Maybe one of the oldest movies that had profanity, of course back then it was considered profanity. Today it's not even profanity. Was the movie Gone with the Wind. Maybe some of the young people don't remember that movie. Gone with the Wind, I remember that movie. And it was known for that phrase, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." Of course, that was considered profanity back then. Today, it's a piece of cake. Today, you can't go to the movies with your children to watch a friendly movie. If it's not cartoons, if it's not made in Disney, then definitely it will have profanity. For parents that don't want their children to be exposed, they can't go to the movies. Even in books, even in literature, there are books that we have to study in junior high and in high school that has profanity. I remember in 8th grade, here when I was growing up in the United States, there was a book that I had to read. I don't know if it still exists, part of school curriculum that children have to read. The Catcher in the Rye. It's still there? How much profanity does it have? I remember I was in 8th grade and I was reading these words. And for me, I didn't even know what they meant. Because in 8th grade, I didn't know what it meant. And I was introduced to this new set of vocabulary of profanity, and you're made to read these books in 7th or 8th grade. This is pop culture. Today, we are living in the age of the internet. Profanity is everywhere. On Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. It's even used by politicians. Wherever you go, there's profanity. Late night shows. Children are learning profanity at the age of 6 and 7 and 8, or even maybe younger, from older siblings, from school, from TV, from the internet, from video games. You know, I stopped my own children playing some video games because I heard the words being used. I was shocked that even in video games there's profanity and there's foul language for little children. We're teaching our children from a young age. Alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This is a problem, my dear friends. When a child learns to speak with foul language, when a child picks up foul language at 6 or 7, he will live with the foul language until he becomes an adult. It will be very difficult to forget these vocabulary words. They will live forever. Some people in the community, at school, at work, you see them, they're addicted to foul language and profanity. And almost every sentence that they use, there's profane words. There's foul language in almost every single sentence. You know, they're a danger to children. You don't want your children to be around such people because they're addicted. Foul language has become part of their everyday vocabulary in front of everyone. Co-workers, friends, parents, everyone. They're a danger to society and they're a danger to children. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. According to statistics and research, Canadians swear more than Americans and Brits when speaking to friends. And Brits, people from England, swear more than Americans and Canadians when speaking to strangers. According to statistics, men swear more than women, except sorority girls. Why am I not surprised? I would assume, I haven't done research, I haven't seen research on this, but I would assume that you are more likely to swear around people that swear as well. And if you are around people that do not swear and do not curse and do not use profanity, you are most likely not going to use profanity. Also, when you are around people that you respect, you are most likely not going to use profanity. This means your parents, your grandparents, you're not going to use profanity around them. You will use profanity around your friends. People that use profanity, you'll be more comfortable in using profanity. Now, a team of researchers at Kiel University, they made a discovery. They discovered that swearing and cursing relieves physical pain. If you get hurt, if you hit your finger or a toe or your hand with a hammer, and you want instant relief, swear, curse, use profanity. One of the researchers by the name of Stevens, he says that I would advise people, if they hurt themselves, to swear. However, the overuse of swearing and profanity diminishes the effect. If you do it a lot, the effect will go away. It will no longer take away stress. And for this research, for this discovery, in 2010, they won the Nobel Peace Prize. Imagine, they won the Nobel for discovering that profanity is good. It takes away pain. Other researchers, they say that profanity helps relieve anger. If you're really angry at something or someone and you want to relieve that anger, control that anger, swear and curse. Also for stress, profanity helps relieve stress except in excessive usage. Now, my dear friends, you will read about research like this. You will be told about research like this. You might come across research like this. It might be true. However, everything that takes away anger and stress and pain is a good thing. Drugs also take away pain and reduce stress and reduce anger. Should we all go and do drugs? Alcohol also reduces anger and pain and stress. Does that mean that alcohol is a good thing? Punching the wall reduces stress once in a while and takes away your anger. Is that a good thing? Just because something takes away your anger, shooting bullets in the sky, that might reduce stress. Is that a good thing? Just because we were told that something reduces stress and reduces pain and reduces anger, it doesn't make it a good thing. Otherwise, if, reducing pain was a good thing, then Vicodin should be the best thing on earth. Right? Drugs should be the best thing on earth. Is it? Just because something takes away pain doesn't mean that it becomes a good thing. It has profanity has negative consequences. It has negative moral and social consequences. Everyone agrees, as we said in the beginning, everyone agrees that it's an ugly behavior. Even if you're speaking to an atheist and you use profane words, they'll tell you, wait, hold on a second. Correct your language. Excuse your language. Mind your language. This is not how to speak with respectful people. Everyone agrees on this. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Who are the people that are most likely going to use profanity? Listen to this. See, do you fall under this category or not? Who are the people that will usually use profanity and swear and curse and say this word and that word? Who? You know who? Losers. What do I mean by losers? People that can't prove their success. You get into an argument, in a debate, you can't prove yourself. You don't have sufficient proof, an argument. You can't prove your argument in a scientific way, in a logical way, in a reasonable way. What do? You start using this word and that word. You start using profanity. If you were smart and intelligent, you can prove your argument in a respectful manner, in a logical manner, in a reasonable manner, whether it's at school or at home or in the basketball field or sitting with friends or on TV or online. If you can prove your argument in a respectful manner, you don't have to use profanity. Who uses profanity? Those who lost. Those who lose an argument. Those who are losers, as I said. Those who have no way of proving themselves. Instead of swearing and using profanity, prove yourself. Prove that you're smart. Prove your argument through rational arguments and reasonable arguments. Prove yourself. Not by intimidating people with profanity, not by scaring people with big words, with foul language. That doesn't work. The moment that you start using foul language is the moment that you lost. Do you see successful people using foul language? Those that are on the right path and they know what they're doing and they're on the right side. Do you ever see them using foul language? No. It's only the people that have no argument. They have no debate. They have nothing to debate you with. they start cursing and using foul language. Have you seen Wahhabis online and offline? As soon as they fail in an argument, in a debate, they start cursing the Shia. When they've lost the argument, when they have nothing to debate you with, they begin calling you sons of this, sons of that. Your mothers are this, you're that, your origin. They resort to foul language. If they could succeed in an argument, in a debate, they would not resort to foul language. But when they lose, they have nothing to do, they start using foul language. Just like a dog. A dog that's scared, what does a dog do that's scared that can't attack you? It barks. It stands from far. It can't attack you because it's scared, so it begins to bark. Not just animals bark, my dear friends. There are some humans that bark as well. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Let's come to the Quran. What does the Quran say about profanity, about foul language, about swearing, about cursing? The Quran forbids us. We see that the Quran forbids us from using foul language with the unbelievers. وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ فَيَسُبُّوا اللَّهَ عَدْوًا بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. And do not use foul language, do not use profane language, do not curse and swear at those who do not worship Allah. Why? Because they will curse Allah. The same way you curse them and their idols, they will curse you and Allah, the one that you worship. So have respect for Allah. Basically the verse is saying have respect for Allah by not cursing their idols, because they will curse your idols. You see, the Quran tells us how to behave with others, how to argue with others. Number one, don't curse. Don't swear. When you're in an argument, don't resort to foul language. If you do, that's a sign of weakness. That's a sign of weakness. Even if you have the best arguments and you have the best proof and evidence, but if you resort to foul language, you've lost. You've lost. No one will listen to you any longer. Now, when the Quran says do not curse non-believers, what about believers? What about Muslims? What about followers of Ahlul Bayt? What about friends and family members and co-workers that are believers, that are mu'mineen? Does the Quran need to tell us not to curse them? When the Quran says that don't curse non-believers, when I say curse, I mean sab, not la'an. There's two different things. I mean sab, not la'an. Cursing, la'an is a different story. That's a prayer. No, I mean sab, foul language. The Quran doesn't need to tell us about family members and friends and Muslims and believers. That's a given. That's a given that you respect them with your language. The Quran says, وَقُلْ لِعِبَادِي. Tell my servants. What a beautiful expression. Allah is using beautiful expressions. The Quran is so beautiful. And tell my servants. Doesn't say tell Muslims. Tell my servants. وَقُلْ لِعِبَادِي يَقُولُ الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. And tell my servants to say that which is better. This verse was revealed when non-believers, they would attack the Sahaba, the Muslims, the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah told his companions, don't return back the favor. Don't return an insult with an insult. Don't return profane words with other profane words. No. وَقُلْ لِعِبَادِي يَقُولُ الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Say better words. When you're faced with a profane word, someone who curses you, swears at you, return it with a better word. Return it with a better word. Don't return a curse with another curse. يَقُولُ الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَنْزَغُ بَيْنَهُمْ. This is the actions of shaitan. Shaitan will come to you at an angry moment. You're angry. You're in the basketball field. Someone made a foul. Someone hurt you. Someone is cheating. And you built up anger. You want to use the worst word on earth. This is shaitan. Shaitan is coming to you. Shaitan is saying use this word and that word and this word. at work, at school, while you're driving, on the freeway, someone cuts you off. Shaitan says, use every single profane word that you know. This is shaitan. إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَنْزَغُ بَيْنَهُمْ أَنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ كَانَ لِلْإِنسَانِ عَدُوًّا مُبِينًا. The verse says that shaitan is an apparent enemy to humans. Shaitan is an apparent enemy to humans. You see, you're having an argument, you're having a debate with siblings, with cousins, with friends, with co-workers. You're having a debate about religion, about a school of thought, whatever it is. Shaitan comes to you and says, disrespect. Say a word. Throw an insult. When you throw an insult, the other person will throw an insult. An insult from here, an insult from there. All of a sudden you have a fitna. You have a fitna. You have a major problem. Sometimes it involves two people. At other times it involves two families. At other times it involves two schools of thought, two scholars, two groups of followers, and so on and so forth. This is fitna. And the Quran says, وَالْفِتْنَةُ أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ. Fitna is greater than murder. To start fitna between two groups, two followers, two families, two brothers, two schools of thought. وَالْفِتْنَةُ أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. The Quran says, say to people good words. Be soft-spoken. Use the nicest words. Don't use rough words. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. You see, the Quran teaches us PR, public relations. How to behave with people. How to draw friends. How to attract friends and people. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Say good words. If we make this a habit of saying nice things to people, behaving in a nice way, believe me, you will increase your friends within a matter of days. If you have 10 friends, within a week, you will have 30 friends. Just by your behavior, your words. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. In other verses, the Quran tells us how to deal with the ignorant. With the ignorant. When someone ignorant faces you and speaks to you, don't return the insult with another insult. No. وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. Say peace. Peace. How many times a day do you hear bad words, words that insult you, people that want to put you down, whether it's from siblings, from friends, from co-workers, from a classmate? Say peace. Salama. Don't return the insult. The best answer to a person that insults you is to remain quiet, is to ignore. Ignoring is the best result. Why? Because when someone insults you, they expect you to insult back. They expect you to insult back. So the best thing is to remain quiet. وَإِذَا سَمِعُوا اللَّغْوَ أَعْرَضُوا عَنْهُ وَقَالُوا لَنَا أَعْمَالُنَا وَلَكُمْ أَعْمَالُكُمْ سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ لَا نَبْتَغِي الْجَاهِلِينَ. The Quran says that when they hear, the believers, the mu'mineen, the good believers, when they hear words of vain, if they're insulted, if they're cursed, they a'radu, they refrain, they ignore, they give a deaf ear, as if they didn't hear. And they say, you know what, we have our actions, and you have your actions, we'll do what we want to do, and you do what you do. Salamun alaykum. Peace be upon you. La nabtaghi al-jahilin. We don't want to get in an argument with you. This is the attributes of believers. This is the attributes of followers of the Quran. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. As for the narrations of Ahlul Bayt emphasize on clean language, not foul language. They emphasize on not using profanity. In one hadith, سُبَابُ الْمُؤْمِنِ فُسُوقٌ وَقِتَالُهُ كُفْرٌ. Using foul language against a mu'min, you become a fasiq. This is fusuq. You become a fasiq. You become a wicked person, an evil person, if you use foul language against a mu'min, a believer, a pious person. someone who prays and fasts and believes in Allah and accepts the Ahlul Bayt, and you use foul language against him, this is fusuq. In the famous story, in the battle of Siffin, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam saw some of his companions, Hujr ibn Adi and others, cursing and using foul language against the army of Muawiyah. Amir al-Mu'mineen stopped them. He said, no. أَكْرَهُ لَكُمْ أَن تَكُونُوا قَوْمًا سَبَّابِينَ. You're my companions. Learn to be like me. When you're the companion of someone, when you're the follower of someone, you have to learn from his attributes and qualities. أَكْرَهُ لَكُمْ أَن تَكُونُوا قَوْمًا سَبَّابِينَ. Don't be people that use foul language. Even though it was against whom? It was against Muawiyah and his army. Don't curse them. Don't use foul language against them. Al-Muslim man salima al-Muslimuna min lisanihi wa yadihi. The hadith defines who a Muslim is. A Muslim is someone who Muslims are at rest or at peace from number one, his tongue and his hands. Meaning he does not abuse people. Number one, by his tongue. Because we are most likely to abuse people by our tongue first and then by our hands. A Muslim is someone that people are at rest. He does not abuse people by his tongue. He keeps his tongue clean unto himself. Instead, he uses his tongue for dhikrullah, for reciting Quran, dua. Not to curse people, not to swear at people, not to use foul language. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam says, Kunu zaynan lana, wa la takunu shaynan alayna. Be ornaments for us, so that when people see you, they say, these are the companions of Imam al-Sadiq. These are the followers of Imam al-Sadiq. These are good followers of Imam al-Sadiq. Don't be in a kind of way that people, Imam al-Sadiq says, don't let people curse us. Curse whom? Curse the Ahlul Bayt. Because when they look at the actions of their followers, people will say, may Allah curse Imam al-Sadiq for raising such followers. Imam al-Sadiq would always tell his followers, have mercy on me. Let people have mercy on me. Don't let people curse me. قولوا للناس حسنا, Imam al-Sadiq says. وَكُفُّوا أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ عَنِ الْفُضُولِ وَقَبِيحِ الْقَوْلِ. Guard your tongues from foul language. Imam al-Sadiq says. Are you a follower of Imam al-Sadiq? Will we practice what he says? In another hadith, this is a very important hadith. I want my brothers and sisters to pay attention to this hadith. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. It is by Imam al-Baqir. He defines who the Shia are. Are you a Shi'i? See, do these qualities fit you or not? If these qualities fit you and you have these qualities, you could proudly say, I'm a Shi'i. If you don't have these qualities, don't say I'm a Shi'i. Don't say I'm Shi'i. Don't say I'm from the Shia. I'm a follower of Ahlul Bayt. Listen to what Imam al-Baqir says. He says, Ma shi'atuna illa. Our Shia are none other than the following. Illa man ittaqa Allah. He who has fear of Allah. He who is pious, shows piety, has fear of Allah. Fears Allah in what he sees, in what he says, in what he hears, in what he eats, in his senses, in how he behaves. إِلَّا مَنِ اتَّقَى اللَّهَ وَأَطَاعَهُ. He who has fear of Allah and obeys Allah. وَمَا كَانُوا يُعْرَفُونَ إِلَّا بِالتَّوَاضُعِ. And they are known only for humility. For humility. You see the Shia, they're known for their humility. Humility. They're not arrogant. They come into the majlis, they sit on the ground. They don't have to sit in the VIP seats. They say salam to everyone. They don't wait for anyone to say salam to them. وَمَا كَانُوا يُعْرَفُونَ إِلَّا بِالتَّوَاضُعِ. Shia are humble. They show humility. وَالْتَخَشُّعِ. They're always calm. They're peaceful. They're humble in the presence of Allah. وَأَدَاءِ الْأَمَانَةِ. When they are trusted with something, they return it back. They don't deceive. when they're trusted with money, with anything that they're given, they give it back. وَكَثْرَةِ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ, and a lot of remembrance of Allah. Their tongue is always busy with the remembrance of Allah. وَالصَّوْمِ, and they fast. وَكَثْرَةِ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ, they remember Allah a lot, they fast a lot, they pray a lot. وَالصَّوْمِ وَالصَّلَاةِ وَبِرِّ الْوَالِدَيْنِ, they have respect for parents, they obey their parents. If you don't respect your parents, you're not a Shi'i. If you talk back to your parents, you're not a Shi'i. If you don't obey your parents, you're not one of the Shia. I don't say this. Imam al-Baqir says this. وَبِرِّ الْوَالِدَيْنِ وَتَعَهُدِ الْجِيرَانِ, and those who check on their neighbors. Even if their neighbors are not Muslim, go and ask about your neighbor. Go say hello to your neighbor. Are you okay? Do you need anything? وَتَعَهُدِ الْجِيرَانِ مِنَ الْفُقَرَاءِ, especially if their neighbors are poor. وَذَوِي الْبَسْكَنَةِ, they're poor, they're needy. وَالْغَارِمِينَ وَالْأَيْتَامِ, if they're poor, and especially if they were orphans. طيب. And among the signs of the Shia, وَصِدْقِ الْحَدِيثِ, they speak the truth. They don't lie. They're always honest, whether it's a big lie or a small lie. وَتِلَاوَةِ الْقُرْآنِ, they're known to recite the Qur'an. You know, a lot of us, we have a Qur'an app on our phones, right? But we rarely use it. We rarely use it. You've downloaded a Qur'an app on your phone, use it. Read Qur'an from time to time. Even if it's one verse a day, that's great. وَتِلَاوَةِ الْقُرْآنِ وَكَفِّ الْأَلْسُنِ وَكَفِّ الْأَلْسُنِ عَنِ النَّاسِ إِلَّا مِنْ خَيْرٍ, and they guard their tongues. They do not attack people. They do not attack people. They guard their tongues. They watch out. Only in good things. They only say good things about people. They don't say bad things about people. This is a Shi'i. Do you have these qualities? If we have these qualities, proudly say you're a Shi'i. But if you don't have these qualities, don't say you're a Shi'i. Don't call yourself a Shi'i if you curse and you use foul language and you use profane language in every sentence and in every paragraph and in every word. Don't call yourself a Shi'i. Especially online. Especially on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, when everyone can see. This is a disgrace to the followers of Ahlul Bayt, especially when American people can see, Christians and Jews. And everyone, those that do not follow the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt, they see how you're typing on Twitter and Facebook. They say, this is a Shi'i? This is how Shia talk online? This is how they talk to each other? This is how they talk to others? By using this word and that word? Don't call yourself a Shi'i. Using foul language is bad and unattractive for everyone, but especially for ladies. For ladies. I'm astonished, I'm shocked when I see a female, a sister, online, on Twitter, on Facebook, using foul language. It's disgusting from everyone, but you would least expect it from a female, from a Shi'i sister. It's very unattractive. Very unattractive when you see them using foul language. You know, there's some people that curse, they swear, they use foul language, they use profanity, online, offline, and they complain, why are we single? Why am I still single? Why doesn't anyone marry me? How come every time I propose, I get rejected? Are you serious? Why doesn't anyone come and propose to me? Some young ladies say. Her whole Twitter account is full of this word and that word and every single profane word out there. And she says, why doesn't anyone propose to me? What is wrong with my community? What is wrong with the boys in my community? Are you for real? When you use all these words, what do you have to say about yourself? What are you telling people about yourself when this is your akhlaq? This is the impression that you give. And you expect people to give you their daughter? You expect people to come and propose to you? Of course that's not going to happen. There are some people that when they curse, they don't just curse one person, they curse that person's father, and they curse that person's mother. You know, we have that habit in the Arabic language and the Farsi language. When we curse someone, we curse his father as well. Why his poor father? What did his poor father do? Or his mother? They don't just curse him, they curse the entire tribe. There are some people, unfortunately, Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. We have another problem today, major problem today, is that there are some people that curse scholars. They curse scholars and ulama and maraji'. People that have spent 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years in the hawza, studying, teaching, they've served Islam. You have someone that knows nothing that comes in and curses this scholar and this shaykh and that sayyid and this speaker. And they don't keep a single scholar uncursed. I wish that they would use this language that they shouldn't on the enemies of Islam, on ISIS, on others. They use this language on scholars. Those that served Islam, those that some were killed for the sake of Islam, they're cursed. They use the dirtiest words, the ugliest language on these scholars. Is this Islam? Is this what the Ahlul Bayt taught us? Is this the akhlaq of the Ahlul Bayt? Using foul language and swearing and cursing, it was the akhlaq of others, not the Ahlul Bayt. Read the biographies of others, you will see that it was part of their manners to use foul language and swearing, not Ahlul Bayt. Abu Bakr, the companion of Rasulullah, read about his biography. In Murawwij al-Dhahab, Murawwij al-Dhahab is a Sunni, is written by a Sunni author. He says regarding Abu Bakr, كان أبو بكر سبابا. He would always use foul language. Always. Sabbaban, meaning it was a quality. Not once, not twice, always. And in my lecture on the biography of Abu Bakr, for those of you that heard it, others have it, I found a narration in a Sunni source that says Abu Bakr sometimes would use foul language in the presence of Rasulullah. تساب مع العباس في محضر رسول الله, in front of Rasulullah. This was the akhlaq of others, not Rasulullah, not Ahlul Bayt. Umar ibn al-Khattab, when he was hit with a dagger by Abu Lu'lu', what was the word that he used? قتلني الكلب. The dog has killed me. Everyone knows this. Umar also would use foul language. As for Uthman, he's another story. Uthman kana fahashan. He would use the ugliest words. And against whom? Against some of the Sahaba, like Ammar ibn Yasir. Like some of the most prominent Sahaba, he would use the dirtiest words on them. This was the akhlaq of others, not the Ahlul Bayt. The Ahlul Bayt would not use foul language. Never did the Ahlul Bayt use foul language. A man came to Medina during the days of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, a man from Damascus. Muawiyah had made it a tradition to curse and use foul language against Imam Ali for 70 years on the minbar, on Fridays. During Salatul Jum'ah, the Khatib would not come down from the minbar if he did not curse and use foul language. Sab, not just la'an, sab of Imam Ali, Al-Hassan, Wal-Hussein, and Fatima al-Zahra. For 70 years. For 70 years. The one who stopped this tradition was Umar ibn Abdul Rahman. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. Afwan. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, the famous Khalifa. The Umayyad Khalifa. He stopped this tradition. Otherwise, for 70 years, Imam Ali was cursed and they used foul language against him. And where? on this mimbar, on a mimbar like this, on Fridays, during Salat al-Jum'ah, in which you have to remember Allah, teach people about piety, teach people the remembrance of Allah. They would curse Imam alayhi salam. This was the akhlaq of others, not the akhlaq of Ahlul Bayt. A man came from Medina, came from Damascus to Medina, from Bilad al-Sham to Medina during the days of Imam al-Hasan. He saw Imam al-Hasan in the masjid. He asked, who is this man? They told him, this is Al-Hasan ibn Ali. He came to him and he stood in front of Imam al-Hasan and he used every single bad word that he knew against Imam al-Hasan. Every single foul word that he knew. Imam al-Hasan stood there. He put his head down. He smiled. And he took all the words. He took them. When he was done, he said, are you done? He said, yes, I'm done. He said, you look like a stranger. You don't seem like you're from around here. Do you have a place to stay? Because if you don't, I have a big house. And I would be honored to host you in my house. If you need a place to rest, my house is available. If you need servants, I have servants at home. We will be honored to host you in our home. You can remain as a guest in our home for as long as you'd like. The man looked astonished. He said, did you hear what I tell you? And this is what you tell me? And then he said, Allah a'lam haythu yaj'al rasalatah. He fell on the ground and he began to kiss the hands and feet of Imam al-Hasan. And he said, I testify to Allah that this is the true Islam. That you are the grandson of Rasulullah. And you are the true Imam of our time. This was the akhlaq of Ahlul Bayt. If you find a narration here and there that says the Ahlul Bayt cursed and used foul language, believe me, the Ahlul Bayt never used foul language. These narrations are not authentic. These narrations are not authentic. The Ahlul Bayt would never use foul language on anyone. Because the Quran tells us that foul language is a disgusting behavior. This is the Sunnah. Ahlul Bayt would come and use foul language? Never. That is not the Ahlul Bayt that I know. The Ahlul Bayt that I know would never use foul language. I conclude with the following story. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam had a servant by the name of Qambar. Qambar, the famous Qambar. Qambar one day was insulted and cursed. Someone came and stood in front of Qambar and he cursed him. Qambar, oh, he's a human being. And he's not infallible. He's not a ma'soom. So he stood, he got up to return the insult. Amir al-Mu'mineen told him, Qambar, sit down. Sit down. Sit down, ya Qambar. مهلا يا قنبر دع شاتمك مهانا ترضي الرحمن وتسخط الشيطان وتعاقب عدوك. Hold on, ya Qambar. Relax. Calm down. Ignore him, ya Qambar. Ignore him. By ignoring him, you will do three things. Number one, you will please Allah. ترضي الرحمن. Number two, you will hurt shaitan. وتسخط الشيطان. Because shaitan wants you to reply. Shaitan wants you to use foul language as well. And number three, you will punish your enemy. Believe me, there's no greater punishment than silence. Try it. Try it. Let someone insult you, someone hurt you, someone uses foul language. The best punishment for them is to remain silent and ignore them. Ignore them. Because they want you to say something. Because when you say something, they'll say something back. And that's what they want. The best solution is to remain quiet. فَوَالَّذِي فَلَقَ الْحَبَّ وَبَرَأَ النَّسَمَ مَا أَرْضَ الْمُؤْمِنْ رَبَّهُ بِمِثْلِ الْحِلْمِ. He says, I swear to God that nothing pleases Allah. There's no way a mu'min can please Allah than by tolerance, than by patience. وَلَا أَسْخَطَ الشَّيْطَانِ بِمِثْلِ الصَّمْتِ. You want to hurt shaitan? You want to kill shaitan? Remain quiet. Nothing kills shaitan more than silence at the time of anger. وَلَا عُوقِبَ الْأَحْمَقِ بِمِثْلِ السُّكُوتِ عَنْ. And nothing punishes a ahmaq, an idiot more than ignoring him, more than remaining silent. More than remaining silent. Once, I conclude with this story. Once, my father, there's a lot of people, sometimes they're envious, sometimes they're ignorant, sometimes they're lost. People have various motives. Someone once attacked my father, and he insulted my father. When I told him, he smiled. I showed him. He smiled. And he said, Khalas. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to increase in my rewards and increase in that person's bad deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by these bad words, He increased my rewards. If I remain patient, Allah increases my rewards, and the person who attacked me, his bad deeds are increased. And I'm satisfied with that. And I'm satisfied with that. I will not reply back. And I do not want you or anyone else in my family to reply back. Because my answer is the answer of the Quran. وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. This is the best answer to anyone who attacks, anyone who insults you, anyone who degrades you, anyone who disrespects you. سلام عليكم لا نبتغي الجاهلين. نسألك اللهم وندعوك باسمك العلي الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم يا الله. حاجة بفرميت شو ما دعاء بفرميت. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته، ولا هما إلا فرجته، ولا عيبا إلا سترته، ولا خوفا إلا آمنته، ولا رزقا إلا بسطته، ولا شملا إلا جمعته، ولا مرضا إلا شفيته، ولا غائبا إلا حفظته وأدنيته، ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا قضيتها ويسرتها يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إني أسألك أن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر من الأمر المحتوم في الأمر الحكيم، من القضاء الذي لا يرد ولا يبدل، أن تكتبنا من حجاج بيتك الحرام المبرور حجهم، المشكور سعيهم، المغفور ذنوبهم، المكفر عنهم سيئاتهم، وأن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر أن تطيل عمري في خير وعافية، وتوسع في رزقي، وتجعلني ممن تنتصر به لدينك ولا تستبدل بي غيري. أعوذ بجلال وجهك الكريم أن ينقضي عني شهر رمضان، أو يطلع الفجر من ليلتي هذه ولك قبلي تبعة أو ذنب تعذبني عليه، برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. ولأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات والعلماء والشهداء نقرأ سورة الفاتحة مع الصلوات.